Hey everybody, Ben and Karen here, and welcome to Unsolicited Advice. Alright, in this Unsolicited Advice, again, we go on Reddit, we find questions people have, and we do our best to give some helpful advice about their questions. So here's a question. This one comes in. It says, I purchased these lures so far at Walmart. Which ones should I add to the arsenal? I enjoy bait fishing for mainly carp, catfish, and tilapia, but would like to expand and try lure fishing. Looking at lures that are versatile, I can catch a variety of fish. Okay, so what lures would you recommend, Karen?
So if he wants to catch more than just carp or catfish, then if he's using those lures, I think you should go for bass. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I'm looking for is a spinner.
Okay, all right. So here we got a spinner type bait that works, and you can just simply, you're going to just tie this to your line and just going to pull this through. And it's just a very simple retrieve, very easy lure to use, very effective. Definitely would recommend that because it looks like he's freshwater fishing. That's the other thing. Yeah. He did already have some spoons, and spoons work good. If you see on the bottom of even this spinner, it's spoons.
That's why I like this one. It has the shiny, and it also has the spinner head too. Yeah. And so that seems to attract even a smaller bass.
Yeah, this works very well. Spinners work. What else you got there?
So
we thought I'd show you a bunch
for bass. My next go-to for black bass, especially, is worms.
Worms. All right. So you got the worm here, and there's plenty of videos out there on how to rig them. This one's rigged semi-weedless, and it's a dark midnight color. We tend to use dark colors here because the water's dirty, but rigged on a worm hook like that. And you bounce that off the bottom, Carolina rigging or Texas rigging, kind of bounce that along the bottom. And that's a great effective for bass and for other types of species as well.
Definitely.
Also, I have a Rooster Tail. Rooster Tail looks like this. It's got the feathers on the back and a treble hook, and then it's got that spinner type thing as well. This is effective for trout as well as bass, crappie, white bass.
I was going to say, that one looks perfect for white bass, or for a larger crappie might go after that.
Yeah, so that's called a Rooster Tail, and that's another type that I think should be in your arsenal.
Here's another one that we tend to use for your crappie or also your white bass. Yeah,
and it's a jig head with a paddle tail rigged on it, and you're just gonna retrieve it by bouncing it or by straight retrieve. There's lots of videos again on how to retrieve paddle tails. Here's another type. This is a bigger one. This is, and I've got if I was going to rig this, you want to make sure this is straight for the paddle tail action as it pulls through the water. Because it's going to have the vibration of that tail going back and forth. And paddle tails, whether it's a small one like this one or a larger one like this one, very effective bait for a variety of different species. I'm going to catch that. Matter of fact, I have caught a sucker fish on this. So it does work. It does work for a variety of fishies. Hard baits. Yeah, you got another hard bait. This is a diving bait. You see it's got the bill, and the idea is when you pull this through the water, it dives down. So you're going to reel this in. It's going to dive, and then you're going to pause. It's going to float back up, and it's also got the rattle in there. So as you're pulling it through the water, it's making that rattle. As it dives down, then it's going to pause. It's going to come back up, and you're going to work the baits that way. But these pencil baits, they are also good for a variety of species, depending on where you are.
And then we have top water.
You got top water. You got a popper. The idea is you're pulling this through the water, and it's hitting the water, creating a splash. And so the fish come up to hit it. And this is another very effective classic bait. I think I even saw one in his arsenal there.
Just keep in mind those certain times of day are better for those.
Yeah, early morning tend to be your top waters.
You got to think about when is a bug going on top of the water.
Yeah, it's going to be early in the morning, late at night, tend to be the times. But personally, if you're asking me, my favorites, if I'm saying, hey, go out and buy a couple of things, spinners
and worms.
These are things that you're definitely going to want to have, and paddle tails. Those are things that you're definitely going to want to have in your arsenal.
For your freshwater ponds, lakes, and ranch ponds, all that.
Yep. So until next time,
may you always catch your limit.